Hello everyone, as you can see I'm back in my home after spending some time in the outback. Thank you for all, well, let's get some thank yous done first. Thank you for all your comments. I read everyone. Where I can, I reply to them, but I really do appreciate them. They're never taken for granted. Nothing is taken for granted about this. Now, the second thing is thank you for those who have sent through donations. That's extremely generous. Thank you. Who else do I need to thank? Just people for their general support of the channel. I really do appreciate it. And I'm pretty humbled by it as well. So, I mean, this was like, this was something that I did because I needed to do it, and I appreciate your support in my endeavours. So, on to the reading for today. I wanted to look at, well, I was scrolling through my Facebook feed, which I generally use for news. I don't really use it for any other anything else. I do have a Facebook page. But Facebook's not my favourite social media platform for obvious reasons. I find there's a lot of trolling there, although not with my Facebook page, thankfully. Just like this YouTube channel, we keep it free from that kind of energy. So that's good. But Beto O'Rourke came through, and he was at the the detention centres, the child detention centres. And he looked like he was campaigning for the presidency. So it was sort of like shades of Texas again, but there was something else. So I want to know, will Beto run for president? I think that's pretty self-explanatory, but we'll have a look. I also want to know, will he be successful? Obviously, that's always a good question to ask. And then I want to move to the immigration centres, and I want to see if the Trump administration will be held accountable for what they've done to child asylum seekers, specifically separating parents from children and putting them in those cages. Now, here in Australia, we do not have a blame-free record here. We have taken people offshore as a deterrent to I guess, illegal immigration. But we haven't done, I guess, like in America, there would be outcry if we started pulling children away from parents in the manner that Stephen Miller and Donald Trump have. So I want to know if they'll be accountable, and finally, what's going to become of Stephen Miller post-Trump. Let's have a look at that just for fun. All right, so we've got a lot to get through today, so let's do those quick readings. Let me just tune into Beto's energy. I think after the Senator campaign, the Texan campaign, I think he was pretty burnt out. He put a lot of effort into that over a long time. But I feel that for him it wasn't a wasted effort, even though he wasn't successful in Texas. He became almost presidential as a result of that campaign. He feels he's got a lot to bring, a lot of new energy to bring forward. Fresh energy, and I think I'm getting that he feels that this is what is needed at this particular time, and so do his backers. His backers see him as a new wave of doing things, a younger wave, a fresh start. Okay, so his backers, his supporters see him as a fresh start. The other one I'm getting through, coming through quite strongly is Kamala Harris. I don't know why, whether she might run with Beto, or she might even run herself, but I'm getting that really strong energy around her. They're the two that I feel quite strongly about. Doesn't put Biden out of the picture either, though. But anyway, let's have a look at Beto. Will he run for president? Will Beto run for president? Yeah, pretty much. It's almost like, yeah, it's a shoo-in. He will. What do we need to know? Yeah, look, I don't think after Texas, I don't think that was in his mind then. I think Texas was always on his mind. It was like this huge, huge campaign, and it took a while for him to get back up on his feet. But he was convinced. He was convinced. Yeah, it was. This may be a good thing to do for him and for the country. So, on that note, let's bring the laptop down and see if Beto will run for president. Okay, Will Beto O'Rourke run for president? Will Beto O'Rourke run for president? Will he stand? Will he? Okay, so straight away we've got this. I think what is characterising the electorate at the moment, and it is this real disappointment. Okay, this real disappointment that the Republicans have gotten in, or have been allowed to do what they've done. But this is also his disappointment reflected in Texas. And if we go a little bit deeper, what sometimes can come out of disappointment is something new. So I see this as a symbol of the electorate's disappointment in the Trump government, but I also see this as Beto's disappointment as well. Yeah, and look, as I said before, the loss was pretty hard for him to take, and this is what the cards this is what they're reflecting to me. It's almost, sort of, yeah, very deep disappointed that he put so much. I mean, you can notice we're dealing with the cups here, which is all about emotion. He put so much effort into that campaign, and he really did need to take time out. So this is really showing what has occurred after that Texas campaign, what I saw when I opened up this reading. But here we go, coming back again. All right, so even though this is a queen, they're not gender specific. I mean, sometimes I get a strong feeling it's a man or a woman, but the queen is about this nurturing and support, and I think it's what he got. It's what he got from those around him. Now, I'm not sure who was on his campaign team, whether there were a lot of women, whether a lot of women supported him, voted for him, encouraged him to, or will be encouraging him to run. But he's getting a lot of support from the female vote. But this is also symbolising this nurturing and healing. Okay, so. Interesting, all these cups coming forward. Okay, after he's had time out, he's coming forward again. I mean, this is the soldier of the freedom fighter. This is the sword of truth coming forward. He's reactivating right now. Okay, he's gone through some healing. He's been encouraged by the women around him, either within his own campaign team, could even be his wife, could even be the Democrat members of the Democrat hierarchy. He's been encouraged to run again, and this is exactly what I'm seeing. I'm seeing him come forward now as a potential presidential candidate. The retreat and the devil card. This is an interesting card. I think he's got to watch because it's mirroring this time out. I think he's got to watch burning himself out. This is what it's saying. It's almost like he is such a strong campaigner. He gives so much of himself. He does. Where are his boundaries? Where are his protective boundaries? Time and time again, I saw him giving. Whether it was to the veteran who had been wounded, or the pensioner who was in a wheelchair. Time and time again, he's got to watch that. He's got to pace himself, and that's what that card is saying. Now, based on that reading, I'll just take away that major arcana there. 10 of Pentacles. In this deck, this is about leaving legacies, but it's also about inheritances. It could symbolise that he may get quite a lot of support to run. At the moment, though, I'm still getting an ambiguity here. So I'll just pull something else. Judgment, okay, it's by no means a fait accompli for Beto at the moment. And we're pulling all these major arcanas. I think some things have got to happen now. This is the Wheel of Fortune. Fortune's changing. I think it has to do with whether or not he'll be supported in his bid to be president. I think it's around whether you call it in America the PACs. This is what's happening at the moment. He's starting to get this get this kind of support happening. This is indicating his fortunes will be changing. Still, you see the process that has to be gone through. But here we are. Okay, here he is coming forward. I'll just bring this up here. Here we are again. Okay, so we've got the Page of Cups. Generally, pages are messengers. He'll be bringing forward a lot of messages of hope. I think that's where he campaigned strongest, and that's why we saw him at the border, at those detention centres, and he's bringing forward these, tapping into the emotions that we all feel, the unfairness that we've seen, not only in America but in Australia. We had an issue earlier on this year where asylum seekers, young adults and children were quite sick, and our government really delayed getting them medical help. As a result, at least one of them took their own lives. So in Australia, we have lessons to learn but what generally happens is that the electorate, the right-thinking electorate, okay, not the Trumpsters, will register their protest at the next election when those things happen, and then during the media gets onto it. As a result, our government then brought those that were sick to the mainland for medical help, but it shouldn't have had to get to that stage. These are the sorts of things that Beto will be tapping into as he goes along. Okay, you've seen the progress of that reading. You can glean some of the issues that are coming forward. But once all these things are sorted out, I mean, there are some challenges for Beto. Don't think that there aren't. People are judging him. He does have an issue with having to pace himself, not burn himself out, because really these cards were quite strong in the beginning of the reading. He is working on getting the money together for a run. People are judging him too at the moment in relation to that. Are we going to put our money on him? Seems like the Wheel of Fortune's turning for him in a good way, because then I pulled the final card, another Cups, which tells me he is going to run for president. So that is that part of the reading. So we'll put away these cards and we'll go again as to whether he'll be successful. Again, I'm using this short format, this particular technique, which allows me to see a little bit more clearly. I mean, there's always ambiguity. As you can see, those cards sort of don't cut to the chase and go, oh yes, in 6 months he'll be, they actually do mirror a little bit of the process that's going on and will go on in the near future for Beto. But, pardon me, let's go forward and let's see if he will be a success. I'll just give these a good shuffle and get some new energies coming into them. Okay, will Beto be successful? Will Beto be successful? Beto successful. Will he be the next? Will he win in 2020? Will he win the presidency in 2020? Will Beto win the presidency 2020? Beto. Oh, I'm just getting a female. I don't know why. Okay, I know some of you are going to say Nancy Pelosi, but no, she's not running in 2020. I think tomorrow we might have a look at Kamala Harris, but let's just see, will Beto be successful? Will he be successful? Okay, so it's looking, I'll just bring the laptop down here. It's certainly looking like the Three of Wands is teamwork and expansion, looking at a bigger picture here. I'll leave that go. It's also wands are inspiration. Justice. Okay, so justice in terms of is this what is coming, what is coming, for the Trump government, but also is there a justice aspects for Beto as well? He lost in Texas, is he going to be given, is he going to win the presidency? The Knight of Wands, looks pretty good. This is like passion, creativity. I mean, that's what he would likely bring to the presidency. The world's endings and beginnings. Endings for the Trump government, the Trump regime, the Republicans. Beginnings for the Democrats. It's looking okay. Pulling a lot of major arcanas. But look, it's going to be hard work for him. That's not to say that he's not going to win. We're pulling a lot of wands, a lot of inspiration. The page coming forward with the sword of truth. I'm just going to move these major arcanas out. Two of Pentacles, juggling multiple forces upon him. Yeah, victory. Okay, victory. So, based on this reading at this moment in time, Beto could be successful if he were to run for the presidency in 2020. Interesting we got these two cards because, this again is, I think, pointing to the conditions that will be around the elections in 2020. There's going to be justice, justice for Trump, justice for the Republicans. But this is also such a strong major arcana because it signifies the end of something and the beginning of something else. And this is like huge. This is completion and beginnings on a grand scale. So, it is, there's this Ten of Wands, which is my least favourite card because, as a workaholic in my previous life, unfortunately, I pulled this card. I used to pull this card all the time for myself. Again, that came up in Beto's last reading. But look, based on this, it's such a strong, Six of Wands is the victory card, such a strong thing coming through. Possibly he could be the next president. There's some good cards there for it. We will, though, read on Kamala Harris because I really got her coming through strongly, as well. If she's not going to be president, is she going to be Beto's running mate? Wouldn't that be a dream team? In fact, give me your dream teams, okay? Give me your combinations. Who do you think might run? And what sort of combination would be a really good double act. So let's get a little bit more serious to the second part of this reading. Will the Trump administration be held accountable for what they've done to the child asylum seekers, separating those children from their parents? We know that some have, there's a percentage that haven't been reunited. We had that tragedy the other day where a child died in custody. So I want to know, okay, it's not that we have control over karma, and it's not saying, but sometimes these things have to be investigated, and that's what I need to know. Will the Congress investigate or will they hold the Trump administration accountable for what they've done to asylum seekers? Okay, will there be an investigation? Will the Trump administration be held accountable for the brutality, the brutal way that they've dealt with asylum seekers? Will the Trump administration be held accountable? Will there be an investigation? Okay, so straight away I get the yes card, which of course is victory. I'll just bring this down here. People have been asking me to read on this for a while. Okay, so it looks like, the magician is the actualizer, bringing things forward into reality. Asked if there would be an investigation, will they be held accountable? Two aspects to this card. Their tricks. Okay, we know that they were ripping children out of parents' arms as a deterrent. All of these things will be exposed, but also I think sometimes there's a karma aspect to this as well. So I think that it's looking like there will be some sort of investigation. And here we have the King of Swords. Yes, King of Swords is generally, they're leaders, okay, and I see this as Congress. Sometimes it comes forward for law enforcement. Whether or not people broke the law in any way. There are a number, I think, of lawsuits out there at the moment to try and protect asylum seekers' rights. But this is what this is saying. I think there will be an investigation of some description. Okay, it's going to expose some things that we're not going to want to see or hear. This is destruction, really. If you look at the mirroring of these two cards, we've got the victory as in yes, they will be investigated, and what's it going to mean? Okay, there's just this is going to be so much that's actually going to be overturned. Overturned, but investigated as well. And the Two of Swords. I do see this as really, I guess the Trump government, the Republicans, while ever they're in power, they're going to have to compromise on their immigration policies. They really are, and it's actually going to be loss for the Republicans. Strength. Okay, the strength of Congress, the strength of things coming forward. Okay, Eight of Pentacles. It's going to be quite significant work for the Congress in front of them to investigate. But look, it's saying that there will be an investigation. These policies, these children that have been separated from their parents, what became of them? What happened while they were in custody, all of that is going to be investigated. My feeling is by the Congress. That's my feeling, or even future Congresses. It's all going to be part of this examination of the Trump in the last 2 years. He's done, I think, things that people won't even realise until everything will be turned over and examined. Every stone will be turned over. So in that regard, what will Stephen Miller, our friend Stephen Miller, I read on his chakras, wasn't a very pleasant experience. Will Stephen Miller be held accountable? Will Stephen Miller be held accountable? Yeah, he's going to be doing a lot of talking. I see him trying to sort of, after everything is finished, he's going to be talking, trying to justify things. But it's almost like I'm getting this image of, talking into a cup, with a wire going to, as we did when we were children. It's almost like his audience will be one. He'll be talking to one person. He's not going to get a hearing. Yeah, I think he's going to find it really difficult post Trump government. I really do. He's going to. It's almost like he's a pariah. And people are going to stay away from him. Cross the street when he walks by, that sort of thing. So, what's going to become of Stephen Miller? Let's just do this one quickly because I know this is quite a long video. I'll just bring this down. what's going to become of Stephen Miller? Oops. It's going to become, will Stephen Miller struggle? Will he struggle post-Trump government? Will he struggle? Will Stephen Miller struggle post-Trump presidency? He'll be caught up in this investigation. He'll be talking to Congress. Wheel of Fortune is going to change for Stephen Miller. Karma, that's the card of karma. Karma is coming to him. There are a lot of people, the Three of Pentacles is teamwork, and you know, there are a lot of, and travel as well. There are a lot of, all of those immigration policies are going to be held under the microscope. There is going to be quite a lot of work done on this in future. This is the card of, you know, this sort of luxury, and it's going to be interesting because I think one of the aspects of investigation is going to be who these contracts were let to and how. All of that's going to be combed over, if you like. In terms of the Wheel of Fortune, the three of Wands, and again this strong work coming forward, pretty much like the teamwork here. It's just, oh my God, I get. Yeah, look, he is going to be held accountable. He will be, appearing before Congress. It's going to result in loss for him, grief, regret. I don't know if he can regret. He might regret not being able to get a good job in the future. But this is the card of when I said people cross the road so they don't walk on the same side of the street as him. This is the card of being unloved, isolated, abandoned. So look, he is going to be investigated, and there's a karmic aspect. He'll be caught up in all of these investigations. There's something around those contracts and who they were given to. Okay, there's something in relation to that. Is that the head of Homeland Security, Kirsten? You know who I mean. There's going to be some sort of investigation of how these detention camps operated. It's going to take a lot of work, and there's going to be a lot of teamwork to get here. But yeah, he is going to be a part of all of that, and there is a karmic aspect to this card. I know that, you know, I guess what's our interest in Stephen Miller's karma? Our interest is this. We, I guess, observers of things that are wrong, we can do a couple of things. We can take action directly, or we can resist it. And that's what we're doing today. We're resisting, in these readings, we're resisting the kinds of actions and indeed corruption and brutality that would take children away from parents. And that's what we're doing here today. Okay, so I'll leave that with you. That's quite a journey, quite a lot of readings. So I'm going to park it there and leave that over to you to watch and give me some feedback. Don't forget, who are your dream team, okay? We'll read on Kamala Harris in the next few days, but let me know who your dream team is and we'll see if we can get to them and see what sort of combinations might likely be successful. It may not happen there's so much Trump news coming forward. There is so much Brexit news coming forward. We've got stuff happening in Australia, but we'll work at it. You know, 2020 is a long way away, but we'll work at it. We'll have a look at these combinations and see who might be successful and who might not. Hope you've enjoyed today's reading, viewers. Thank you.